guys, Dark Sassy Ninja D. We're on the Kilimanjaro safari because, you know, it's awesome. So yeah.
That's Update Santa Warden. As we see out here in around Pt.1 day. Let's go.
Bye.
Alright, and Jumbo, everyone, welcome aboard. My name's Brittany. I'm going to be your safari guide today through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Are we all excited for a good safari?
Yeah!
Like 4 of you. Fantastic. Now we're going to get started here in just a moment. Actually, that word's clear into the reserve, so we'll go ahead and get started right away. Now the roads out here get a little bit bumpy, so I do need everyone to remain seated for me at all times, keeping hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Also hold on tight to any loose items, because if they fall from the truck, I am not allowed to stop for them. We're starting today here at the Little Aturi Forest.
Now don't throw it outside the bus.
Back here are kind of shy and kind of reclusive. So keep your eyes open. But actually, to start things off, if you take a look over to your right, this darker animal with the stripes on its body, that's called an okapi. Okapis weren't discovered by the Western world until 1901, so a really shy animal. And most people think it's a relative of the zebra because of those stripes, but it's actually the only known relative of the giraffe. Now they both have 18-inch long tongues, allowing them to reach up and lick their own eyeballs. One last thing I forgot to mention, folks, up above your heads there is an animal spotting guide up there, and that's to help you identify the animals out here on the reserve. And we're probably not going to see all those animals, but hopefully we'll see quite a bit along the way. And I can't stop for every single one of them, so if you do want to take pictures, definitely recommend having those cameras or cell phones ready.
Oh, wait.
And again, keep a tight grip on those items.
Yeah. There you guys go. Hopefully. Oh, that.
Now, besides being shy, a lot of the animals out here like to use their natural coloration as camouflage.
So yeah,
Many of them have stripes on their body, allows them to blend in with those trees.
And then just, you know, zoom in.
Makes it a little bit more difficult for predators to see them, but also makes it a little bit more difficult for us to see them. So we'll keep moving on.
Whoa. Got one of those metal things that go brrr.
It looks pretty quiet out here. So we'll get out of the forest, start making our way down to the Safi River. The Safi River is home to some Nile crocodile. Maybe we'll get to see some hippos today too if we're lucky.
We're always lucky.
The animals out here on the reserve do have the right of way. A lot of them go wherever they want, whenever they want, for as long as they want. Some of them are a little bit stubborn, like to hang out on the road. We do see animals today. We'll be in very
Trying
good
to
luck.
think of an animal joke with YouTube.
Let's see. Now, hippos can be quite challenging to see, but there actually is a hippo down in the water. As we're coming down the top of this hill, you can kind of see its eyes and ears up above the water there. It's kind of a rare sight during the day, folks. Usually they're going to remain under the water, sometimes for up to 8 minutes at a time. Keeps them a little bit cooler. Once that sun goes down, that's when they come up on the banks to feed. They actually can cross about 100 miles every night in search of vegetation. We'll go a little further down the Safi River. Ah, here's a couple more. Over here on the left, just on that back side of that island there. Quite a few. They kind of look like rocks in the water there. They're down under the water. Now, a group of hippos like that is actually called a bloat of hippos. That is spelled B-L-O-A-T. Each of those hippos can weigh in anywhere from 3,000 up to 5,500 pounds.
Wow, that's really great.
There's one poking his head up right there.
Great brightness, but better not.
And right back down. Also, those white birds over on the left on the island are called pink-backed pelicans. They get that name from the color they'll turn during mating season. They're colonial nesters, so they nest in pretty big groups, anywhere from 20 up to 500 birds. We're going to go a little further down Safi River now. Going to be crossing a bridge here in just a moment. As we cross this bridge, take a look down to your left. A couple of Nile crocodile down there. The Nile crocodile average 16 feet in length, but they can get up to 20 feet, which makes them as long as a giraffe is tall. They also can weigh in anywhere from 500 to over 1,000 pounds. If you ever see them with their jaws open, that's not necessarily because they're hungry. A lot of times they're just trying to cool off by releasing all that hot air out of their bodies. But I wouldn't recommend getting too close to those jaws because they do have a biting force of 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. That means they can go through the bones of any animal that crosses their path. Quite frankly, I don't like the sound of that, so we're going to get out of the Safi River, make our way down to the Serengeti grasslands instead. These grasslands stretch for hundreds of miles across Africa, home to some pretty unique animals.
YouTuber called Tech Rex.
Pretty unique plant life as well.
You know, he destroys iPhones.
A good example of that is we're coming around the corner here. If you take a look over to your right, this is what we call a baobab tree. Also known as the upside down tree, because it kind of looks like its roots are sticking straight up in the air there. Now they go leafless like that 9 months out of every year. And they actually can store thousands of gallons of water inside that trunk at the bottom. For some of those really large trees, up to 32,000 gallons of water. So a good resource for a lot of animals out here on the savannah.
The Tex-Rex did a video of a crocodile.
We're coming up on my favorite view of the entire
iPhone.
reserve now.
And like,
Absolutely beautiful out here. A couple giraffes in the distance. We'll get close to them in just a moment.
What's this? Oh, so bright. Turn it that way. Ah, the sun. I don't want my camera to get messed up.
There's a giraffe coming up on our right-hand side up in the trees here getting a snack. There's also a very, very large Patterson's eland over on our right-hand side hanging out over here. The Patterson's eland are the tallest antelope in Africa. Males stand 6 feet tall at the shoulder and they can weigh over 2,000 pounds. This one over to our right, he is actually the alpha male of the group. And he has a lot of power in those legs. He can jump about 8 feet in the air from his standing position. That giraffe over there munching on the tree stands about 18 to 20 feet tall. Babies are about 6 feet tall when they're born. And I actually do see a couple juvenile giraffes going to be coming up here in a little bit. I'll take a good look at that giraffe because what he's doing right now is basically what they do all day. Out of 24 hours, they do spend about 20 hours eating. Sounds like a pretty great life. Only about 30 minutes out of each day they're going to sleep, and that's usually in really short bursts of about 5 minutes each. They're going to remain standing while they sleep. Now coming up on our left-hand side, up on the rock there in the center, there's an animal sleeping up there. That is a spotted hyena. They're also known as Fisi in Afrikaans. And they're a matriarchal society. It means the ladies are going to outrank the males.
Up on top of the rock.
Yeah, just hanging out up there getting a little snooze.
The grass. I can't see it.
Quite a
One
few
over there on the
giraffes
grass.
coming up
Look,
here
right
in
over
just
there.
a moment. A group of giraffes like this is actually called a tower of
guys,
giraffes.
tell me if you saw it.
Very appropriate
I'm
name.
not sure.
There's one hanging
Ooh,
out.
it's a giraffe.
Oh my goodness, it's right there.
Wow. Hi.
There's that little baby a little further back there.
I wish I could feed you some lettuce.
There's that 18-inch long tongue.
If only.
Now, that tongue is prehensile, which means it can latch onto things with a really tight grip, very similar to how our thumbs work. Makes it easier for them to get the leaves off the top of those trees.
If only I could feed them some
Also
lettuce.
coming up here on both sides of the truck, these large columns are termite mounds. They're made up of soil, termite saliva, and termite dung. All that mixes together and bakes in the sun, turns it as hard as concrete. That's why elephants and other large animals like to use them as scratching posts. When they're worn down, smaller animals like antelope and meerkats, they're going to use those as lookout posts so they can see out over that tall grass for their prey, or for predators, excuse me. There's one more giraffe going to be hanging out very, very close to the road in here in just a moment. There's one more giraffe over on the right as well. Also over in the tall grass over here on the right, those little guys are called springbok. They can spring 6 feet in the air as well as 13 feet forward from a standing position. And here's this beautiful giraffe.
Wildebeest.
There's 17 different subspecies of giraffes in the world. Ones out here on the reserve are called Maasai giraffe. There's a beautiful little baby one coming up over here. Now, Maasai giraffe are a little darker in coloration, and they also have that jagged, kind of uneven pattern on their bodies. A little less geometric than some of the other subspecies.
Wildebeest and some.
Now, coming up here on the hill, a couple more of those springbok. There's also a very large brown animal with some long horns. These are Nkoli cattle, also known as Watusi cattle after the tribe that first domesticated them in Africa. Those horns have a honeycomb structure inside. The animal's going to pump blood up into those horns, cool it off, and then pump that cooled blood back into their bodies. Helps regulate their temperature.
It looks like a cow with
Also, these shaggy
horns.
gray ones that are up ahead of us, these are white-bearded wildebeest. They're a huge migratory species. Every year they cross about 1,000 miles in search of water during those really long summer droughts. And they'll do that in herds of just a couple to 1.5 million animals in a single herd. There's actually a couple more going to be coming up here on our left, as well as another little springbuck hanging out. And a couple more over on the right as well. They also go by the nickname Gnu, spelled GNU for the sound they make for those wildebeest. When they sleep, they're going to sleep kind of in a grid-like formation, all those adults facing out, so they have lots of eyes out there on the savannah, help protect them from predators. And probably the coolest thing about these little springbok is I told you they can spring 6 feet in the air as well as 13 feet forward. They also can run about 55 miles an hour. That is just shy of what cheetahs do.
Mom, cheetahs go.
And we're going to get out of this part of the savannah and start making our way back into elephant country.
So it's the second fastest animal on Earth.
Elephant country is the largest part of the reserve, so we're going to be traveling through here for a couple minutes. Hopefully get to see that herd at some point.
Oh, there you guys have it. It's one of the most fastest animals on Earth. At least you know.
Elephants hang out around here. They hang out up in the trees.
I don't know what that blue stuff is.
Keep going around the corners here. We're just going very slowly through here, letting that truck in front of us scooch up just a little bit. Normally I take that road, but obviously it's been closed, so we're going to follow this truck. Keep scooching up just a little bit. To get back into elephant country, we're going to have to cross the bridge here in just a moment. It's kind of old, so we're going to go over it slow. Don't want to take too many chances out here. Here we go. Almost there. Okay, we're on the terrain.
Whoa.
Alright, I think it's over. Alright, let's get out of here, folks. Just another day here. It looks like it might have paid off though, because we're coming up on some red clay pits. Quite a few tusk marks, so that means that elephants have been through here recently. The elephants will actually eat that clay because it has a lot of vital nutrients they can't get in other parts of their diet. I do feel it's important to mention also that elephants are a matriarchal society, kind of like those hyenas. So the ladies are in charge.
Brick is
But between you and me, I do think they've earned that because elephants have almost 2 years of pregnancy that will result in a 300-pound baby.
But I don't get it because bricks are hard
So
to
go on
eat.
for that one. We actually do see a couple elephants coming up on our left here in just a moment. There they are. Hanging out amongst all those rocks up there. Now within that herd, the head matriarch is in charge of everyone else, so she's going to decide where they go each and every day out here on the savannah, as well as where they're going to rest this evening once that sun goes down. During really hot days, they can do a couple different things to help themselves out. A lot of times you'll see them flap their ears, and that's to cool their body temperature by as much as 15 degrees. You also see them throw dirt on their back, and that acts as a natural suntan lotion. Helps protect that really sensitive skin they have. So we'll head down here by the water. There's one more hanging out just to the right of this baobab tree. Here's a beautiful picture for you folks. The male elephants will leave the rest of the herd once they reach adulthood, which is around ages 13 to 15. When they're fully grown, elephants can tip the scales anywhere from 11 up to 13,000 pounds.
Oh, lots of flamingos.
Now coming up here on the left on the island, these birds are greater flamingo, and they are the largest and the lightest shade pink of all the flamingo species. So they're going to get that pink color over time, kind of start out a gray color. The pink comes from their diet, from brine shrimp. Or probably my favorite fact about the flamingos is that a group of them is actually called the flamboyance of flamingos. It's kind of a fun alliteration. we're going to leave elephant country now and start making our way back into white rhino territory.